Hey everyone, it's Will, GamerDad, with another video for you. So this video is going to be a little bit more different than my usual. And first of all, for all those who are new to the game, joined us with the crossover with Octopath Traveler, welcome. Hopefully you have been playing the last couple of days in order to get to chapter 13, and if you do get this main story chapter 13 clear. And let me show you what that entails. Now if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. Alright, so if you have claimed that ticket, you won't find the banner here in the limited banner actually. You'll find it in the regular banner from what I can see. Let me just double check that. I could actually be wrong. Okay, let's see. Okay, wrong. Okay, right here. So, as Scott had commented in the live stream a few days ago, everyone gets a free 5-star guaranteed out of that ticket, which you can redeem right here. If you press the purple button on the left hand side on the bottom there, you can claim these 3. You can clearly see the odds. You don't even have to risk anything. It guarantees that you will pick one of the 3 from left to right. Annabelle, who is from present day, Iska, which is from future, and Melina, which is actually from antiquity. So for those new to the game, this will obviously give you a brand new 5-star. For those who are, I guess, have played the game somewhat, you may or may not have all 3 forms. This would automatically upgrade your 4.5 to 5 stars without having to use any chance or any other materials. And for example, in some rare cases where you only have the altar version of Iska, then you can get a free version of Iska normal style, which counts as a new unit, by the way. And finally, if you're like myself and have all 3 units as 5 stars already, then you really have to think about why even bother. And I'll tell you why you have to bother. Obviously, if you do choose the unit of your choice, it gives you either 16 light or 16 shadow. You can see on the very bottom there. And that gets you more stats, which can eventually make your unit a lot more powerful. At certain breakpoints, which we won't get into right now, you can actually unlock extra moves, move slots, shall I say, extra badges, equipment, and extra grasta, which makes your unit a lot more powerful. But the purpose of this video actually is, which one should you choose? And so we'll go over the various pros and cons for each unit and also what your options are. Now note that this does expire on February 29th, 2024 UTC, so about 28th our time in North America, so be aware you don't want this to expire. However, if you are not in any need of the ticket, like myself, I would highly recommend you to hold to near the end because you never know when this might come into handy in the future. Alright, so first of all, as usual, there are certain rules that we apply for selecting guaranteed units. Don't just go with the, well, Mac did it, so should I? At least use the unit sometimes. I mean, some of these units are a little bit older, some are newer, so bear that in mind. And remember to, especially if you're newer to the game, check out all the units, read up their skills on the AE wiki, review all the arts, check out the voice clips, then make your picks. Because of course, voice clips matter. Let's be honest, if it's a waifu you're going for, you definitely want the sound of her voice to be music to your ears. Alright, so after that, we do have to have our usual disclaimer. Undue reliance should not be placed upon forward-looking information, and we have no obligation to update or revise any forward-looking information, whether as a result of new information, future events, or otherwise. Alright, so back to the usual programming after our legal. We do have a new contributor on my project team that's going to help out with this particular video. He is not present, but he would like me to read out his thoughts in writing of his projections when it comes to these 3 units and their potential. All right, so let's go with order of antiquity, present, then future. So again, this is my AE economist and his views, and then I'll make some comments myself. So without any further ado, he would like to state that as a Melina 5-star, pros for choosing her would include ES Philly has now been announced, and that means that they have not forgotten about the Western units. Just recall, Western teams were meta teams during the EPS, Superboss, and Mythos era, and due to extra buff effects with the West personality and a set of West Grasta effects for extra sharing. Now, particularly interesting is the Moke sidekick reveal from ES Philly. And this brings us to some speculation about a Noah sidekick potential. The question that remains is how? Melina already has all 3 styles, and we don't expect changes to equipment to affect sidekicks. Manifest will not unlock sidekicks. And so it will be interesting to see whether or not Melina gets a sidekick through another upgrade, an alter, or potentially even a stellar awakening. So in terms of future outlook, True Manifest for normal style is on the table. Very comparable to Suzette and Sukiya, which already have been announced as stellar awakenings due to age of unit, extra style available, and a major role in the story arc and episodes or mythos. Would we see a Sukiya style True Manifest and Stellar Awakening together in one go in the near future for Melina? Also, if you have collected enough shadow items and have not used them, you can easily use those to reach 80 for full stellar board on Melina. So just contemplate that for a moment, and I have my thoughts on the matter. Now, I do agree with AE Economist's comments on these. Keep in mind, Western-themed Astro Archive is on the horizon, which could tie into this line of thinking. And you know how Philly and Melina are fierce competitors with each other, at least in the Mythos story arc. And this particular competition and story arc could be expanded or continued. Also, it's not only Moke that's a big following, but Noah is a fan favorite as well. All right, so now we're gonna go with AE Economist's thoughts on Annabelle 5-star. We see Miglins revisited from time to time. Appears to be a favorite amongst fans and development team. Dev team initially thought 2 nights would be one and done, but revisited with first night. So we can't say they are done. Miglins is revisited again with ES Miyu and the numerous appearances of King Miglins in various storylines and side quests. Future outlook. True Manifest for normal style is on the table. Very comparable to Suzette and Sukiya, which have Stellar Awakening due to Age of Unit, and major role in story arc, episode, and mythos. Can we see a Sukiya style True Manifest and Stellar Awakening together in one go in the near future? And now for my thoughts. So just like Melina, obviously Annabelle does have that potential for side grading. Don't forget about the unresolved puppet side quest fiasco that we saw a few years ago. And this would be a perfect way to not only unlock Annabelle's true potential, but to tie some loose ends in terms of that side quest. Now, of the 3 units, Annabelle does have a normal style and AS, but currently does not have an ES. So of these 3, she is technically the furthest behind in unit development. And also, due to the change in meta, tanks have now become more prominent as well. So will we see a resurgence in Annabelle? Remember, Stellar Awakened units can get all their moves reworked, and see Suzette, Sukiya, and Aldo. Imagine boosting her type and physical shields, both of which I've used frequently in the past to tank a hit. All right, and finally, AE Economist's thoughts on Iska 5-star. IDA has been revisited time and time again, and dev team has hinted that this is not the end since IDA 3, and then Mythos Future dropped afterwards. Iska is also a fan favorite in popularity polls, very comparable to Suzette in terms of popularity. Both are featured with ES during the Future Mythos, apex of logic and cardinal scales. Future outlook? True Manifest for normal style is on the table, very comparable to Suzette and Sukiya, which have Stellar Awakening due to age of unit and extra style available. Major role in story arc, episode, and mythos. Will we see a Sukiya style True Manifest and Stellar Awakening together in one go in the near future? Iska also does have exposure to Lost Lab and IDA, would benefit from any additional help, Grasta, and personality bonuses from either. Relatively easy to 255, or reach exposure to any future Alter Iska upgrades, including Manifest, Skill Reworks, AS and ES, etc. etc. So since you can get a 255 light, 80 for a full Stellar board is completely within range. Now my thoughts. Of course, AE Economist would mention 255 Iska. Scammer. He has one of those, and I do not. Mine is only a sub 40 light. And speaking of alters, although Iska has one, and that has the potential to get reworked and awakened, the others have not had one yet. And so they have plenty of potential to get Alter, Melina, and Annabelle, especially if you recall the first night version of Annabelle, which had its own kind of storyline. All right, so hopefully this gives you some insight as to my project team, as well as my own thoughts on this particular manner in terms of these 3 units, what they entail, what potential they have for the future. Now, again, if you want my recommendation, just based on the potentials and just overall usage and possibly power, I would probably edge with Iska. Iska, as I said, not only has an altar already, so you have side grade potential there. Like we mentioned earlier, she has the most potential in terms of lots of Grasta and personality sharing, including things like Bookworm, Sweet Tooth, and so on and so forth. She has tons and tons of personalities, which make her both an effective acceptor of buffs, as well as Grasta sharer or carrier. And so again, IDA is still not over, and Iska is going to remain prominent in this game for a very long time. Now, in terms of my personal favorite, I will say of these 3, I have a soft spot for Annabelle. She was only my second 5-star in the game, and I did indeed use her to tank many hits in the game. Early subscribers to this channel will remember me featuring Annabelle in fighting the Ember Magic Dragon, for example, tanking complete hits in the Kudang, among other major fights in order to survive. In Ratley Otherlands, she was indispensable for me to survive, being that I had no viable water team back when it was first released. And again, she has no ES, right? And finally, Melina. Hey, Melina has a lot of fan favorites, and the Noah's storyline should be really interesting in that sense. So again, you can choose which way you want to go. Now keep in mind, if you only have 4.5s, then you can use this to side grade for free and not have to pay 5 chance. Or you can just hold all the way till the end and then decide at that time. Because if you are pulling in the next couple of months, the worst thing to do is to use this item now, and then, oh no, you hit a 5-star either in the Whispers or in future banners as an off-banner pull, and then you'll be disappointed in that sense. So unless you're like myself, where it doesn't make any material difference whether or not I choose any of these 3 because I have them all at 5 stars, you can hold off on using it. Now, if you're new to the game, just choose one of the 3 that you want, because you don't have many 5 stars anyway. So this is meant for you to catch up in the game quite dramatically. Also, don't forget that if any of them ever do get Stellar Awakened, if you don't have a 5-star version of it, this will allow you to have one 5-star version, and if a Stellar Awaken does get announced, then that will give you 1 credit towards the 1 out of 3 Awakening gauge. So anyways, there are a few different ways to play this, and definitely a lot of things to consider when choosing one of the 3. It's not actually as simple as it sounded when I first looked at this and thought, oh, we're going to automatically pick Iska, for example. No, there are a lot of potential for all 3 units. So, you know, no matter which one you choose, I'm sure you won't be wrong. Although, of course, just like lighting up, you choose one, and the other 2 are the one to get upgraded, right? So, you know, don't blame me. Anyways, hopefully this gives you some insight, and for myself, I am holding till the last day before deciding which one I'm going with. Purely because I have less light on Iska over the other 2, I probably would pick Iska. But again, each to their own, and choose the one that's best for you. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.